Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Okay, cool. It works, it works. I didn't even double check it, but it works. Aspie, hello. Good luck and greetings from Belgium to everyone. Hello, Aspie, welcome. Dave says hello, Dub. Spartans copy and pasted that. Also said hello, Dub. Just kidding. Hello, Dave and Spartans, welcome. Mary NG, good morning. Rachel, morning, Dub, hello. Double Waves, Ivis says heyo, hello Ivis, hello Juxies, Girl Gamer, Merry Game Day, good luck everyone. Wilson, hi all, hello Wilson. Martin, hello. Here for the Addicts Anonymous Town Star meeting, Martin. Homeboy, hey Dub, good day, good luck, thank you homeboy. You as well, of course. I did see we got the Gala payouts just yesterday for the previous competition, the Canvas competition. That was my highest ranking yet. I got 6th place. That's 16,000 Gala. I saw the 16,000 Gala reward. I'm like, damn, I never got in that much from a competition. More than the usual 11,000, or lately sometimes I get 12,000, right? Because I get like 10th place. Oaken Shield, good morning. Angel says hi. Hello, Angel. SFUK says hi. Hello. Our Nate says good morning, Dub. Good morning, all. Hello, hello. Vulture, hello, morning. Here we are. I would say I started the stream on time because this is usually when I start it when it's competition time. 10 minutes before the competition. Practice event 2 is the no NFT build that I showed off in the video. I guess we could take a look at the biome for like 3 minutes and now go back to the main menu. Got the visualizer pulled up, plans ready to go. This build's not that expensive. With my NFTs, including the Stars and Stripes, I would imagine I only need like 10 mil cash, and I'll get that just from selling the glass bottles that I need to make to get this to work anyways. And probably some apples from the 131 apple trees that I'm gonna have. I put that on the thumbnail too. 131 apple trees. It's not going to be that exciting because half the build is apple trees, right? Might be the same case for some of you too. Less addict, to be honest. I fail, says Martin. Ivis, congrats stuff. Thank you. Just to take another look at the starting biome here. I actually practiced mine like this, and I think, yeah, that's how I had the visualizer, so I'm gonna run it just like this. Because this is how we had the biome for the Canvas competition. To my surprise, it's not a desert biome. I know some people were asking about that before the update came out on Friday. I thought it was gonna be a desert biome. I don't know, just, there's no trees. How are they going to give us a plains biome with no trees? I understand you do have the tree farms. I guess that's your trees. I guess they gave us the liberty of, you know, they removed the trees for us. The ones that cost 20k to remove. Cool, I guess. It really does look like the desert without the cacti. I guess it really does look like the plains just without those trees. That's strange. Not sure why they would do that, but alright. Yeah, I almost messed up on the no NFT build too. I almost had the sand mines over here. And I'm like, oh damn, they need to be right here. But yeah, bunch of empty space, free space to work with. Probably I'll set up the glass rush over here. Probably put all my cream bots down here because I don't care about the apple trees right now. This is going to be very easy to build. I don't know if it's gonna be my fastest build, but it is going to be very easy. Actually, the breweries need like 10 lumber each, right? 28, hello. I think the breweries need to add 10 lumber. All right. Probably gonna need like what, 200 lumber. A little over 200 lumber. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So where this fuel storage is, basically all this needs to be paved roads for me. And the fuel storage to the left. All right. Okay, we'll see if I remember that. Let me go back. Yeah, hopefully everybody's ready. Thought I missed the start? Nah, you're good. I'm on time. Right. That actually didn't take that long. I did already do the daily challenge with the white rice, so now we wait about 2.5 minutes. Mr. Troopa says, have a great competition, y'all. Do you own a golden apple tree, Dub? I actually don't have any golden apple trees. No, I never picked those up. And I am one of the people looking forward to if they ever release the apple stand, obviously, because that would be very powerful. If you don't know that already, then you'll see once I place down all the apple trees. But the problem with the apple stand, I understand this too. Anybody with the golden apple trees would be very pissed off if the apple stand came out, because it would render those golden apple trees almost completely useless. Same can be said about the cornucopias. So yeah, that would be bad if the apple stands came out. I'm sure they'll sell them. They definitely will. Like, I would definitely buy 1 or 2, but it would devalue the golden apple trees almost completely. But that's true. Better idea to wait for the stand. Yeah. I wouldn't even consider buying the golden apple trees myself. I'd rather just wait for the possibility that they might release the stand. If they don't decide to release it, then that's completely fine. I'm okay with that, right? Herp says, hi all, good luck, have fun. Hello, Herps. Rahif says, good luck, Dub, and everyone. Hello, Rahif, welcome. And Jeff, my name is Jeff. Hi, Dub, hi, chat. About 1 minute to go till it starts. What isn't devalue? That's true, but some stuff devalues things more than other things, if that makes sense. Say for example, the wood stand that was supposedly gonna come out, that would have devalued stuff a lot more than what the new utility was for it, for the epic nursery tree or whatever. It kind of works like the mistletoe arch now. So the epic nursery tree now doesn't devalue stuff as much as the wood stand would have, you know, with its original utility. Some of you know what I'm talking about, because the whole talk we had or argument we had with the wood stand, that only lasted about an hour, and then Isma came out and said, no, we're not going to do that, you changed our minds. So that's cool. At least we jumped that hurdle pretty quickly, right? There's not going to be a wood stand until maybe it comes up with the next team. Nah, just kidding. Let's not even say that. All right, pave roads to start with, because it helps me plan some of this stuff out. Let me sell some fuel also. That's probably a waste of time though. I get all the money from the glass bottles that are cash boosted. Watching NFT Harbor? For what, Martin? You're looking to snag some good deals or what? Trying to buy some of the stuff you told me you were trying to buy? Okay, I don't need that oil seep. No, that's good. Okay. Do this for now. Charge. Alright. Really, I should just set up the glass rush first. Obviously, or else how am I gonna get the money? Alright. See money, what's up? Yeehaw, competition time? Yeah. Well, that's basically my last bottle setup for the competition. But just to speed up the cash process, I will have... I'll go ahead and place down my other 3. If I can place them correctly. Alright. Tracking can go here. I am gonna have to make 2 ponds, which is crazy. I can't remember when the last time I made a pond during the competition was. For my personal build, that is. Obviously for the no NFT builds, I do it all the time. A lot of stuff. Well, yeah, the NFTs are way cheaper now, right? As Martin was saying. Same could be said for a lot of the crypto tokens out there. But I guess not Bitcoin. Bitcoin is seemingly worth more now. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about placing all the apple trees yet, because that'll probably take... I can imagine 15 minutes of just placing apple trees. Wow, did the pond literally just disappear on me? I pressed the delete key, that's true, but I did not think it was gonna delete the pond like that. That's so weird. Okay. A little bit of a hiccup. Jukesy says, OMG, need to wait 5 freaking seconds to delete 1 scrub. That's terrible. That's really laggy. So far, I'm not seeing a crazy amount of lag. As you can see, I can delete stuff within a second, it feels like. Less than a second, as it should be, really. The stuff should just get deleted immediately. So far, not too laggy. I am pretty much out of cash, though, so... yeah, that makes sense. Put that on auto sell, update town offline. I just need to start making wood and lumber, because that's pretty much the build. circus here comes in handy later. And you know, I can just place down all the circuses. Right, circus there. Greenhouse can go here. Town hall can go there. Where does the tavern go? Here, tavern. Medieval tavern's very important. Rachel just got in. Really, did it take that long? Like almost 7 minutes? Diamond water pump for later. Okay, that placed correctly. Miranda's skins, corrupted packs, speed things up. On this one, I can put the badges pretty quickly here because they're just gonna go right here. Nice and organized. I'm using the tunnels of love here because they give 3 passive water, so they're a little bit better than the pond. How many of these did I turn on? Just one of them? Okay. So go ahead and turn them all on, but I also want to go ahead and put down lumber storage. I'm just trying to see where exactly. I suppose I could put it here and that should be fine for now. But also the past maybe 3 weeks already, I mean, people have been reporting they keep getting the disconnect icon, and then they report their towns got rolled back several hours. I'm sure that's happened to a couple people here. And I've not gotten any, maybe serious rollbacks. If I did get a rollback, maybe it was a couple minutes only. I haven't gotten any serious rollbacks. Like some people said they lost their entire town's worth of progress. Just completely rolled back. The only thing I can really recommend, or the only 2 things, is once you see that disconnect icon on the top left, it'll be between your cache and the guild icon over here. Just go ahead and refresh your town. And the other thing I'd recommend is just go ahead and log out and log back in every hour. Well, like refresh your town, right? Maybe not completely refresh the window, but just return to main menu and then log in. That should make sure that your town gets saved. We really shouldn't have to do that, but I don't know. I feel like that should help save your town. That makes sense. Kind of speculation, but you know, that's what I would recommend. Once again, we really shouldn't have to do that, but it's kind of the only solution right now, it seems like. Right. Get the bots going. I suppose the bots can be closer up here. Yeah, right here will work. Oops. And if I want to finish this as fast as possible, I guess I'll just place them all down. Alright, and cash shouldn't be an issue, but I'll go ahead and place this down. And oopsie. And stars and stripes. I didn't even realize that we started with a lumberyard. Interesting. Alright. Let's do the Tesla coil right here for now, and an energy storage can be right here. And I'll go ahead and also put down the solar panel. This might just make it so that some of the breweries won't need any energy to build. Yeah, like that one, yeah. So that'll be nice. And yeah, start putting some of these down. I mean, that's the only expensive thing I need to make. Yes, I'll run out of money, but that's the whole point. Right, there we go. And I'll place down the rest of the water NFTs here somewhere. One, two, three, four, five. The Tomy says icon on my town already, or his town, he says. So soon. It's only been like 15 minutes also. I'm sure there's something else that influences like how often people are getting it. It could actually be your connection. Because it's happened to me too. It's just clearly it doesn't happen as often as it appears that it happens to some of you. 15 minutes in, I suppose I'll start placing down apple trees while I'm waiting on stuff to build and waiting on the cash. This might be the fastest build, maybe. I was first place for a little bit. I can see that I'm third place now. I imagine maybe somebody already started selling apple cider. I don't know. I'm sure I could use a couple more lumberjacks. I'm not planning to build any loggers on here. Just a couple lumberjacks to help me gather wood for now. It can go... I guess they'll go here. Alina, hello, welcome. I can start making some sugar. That won't hurt. Are you done already? I'm halfway done, it feels like. Oh, there's a scrub right there. Alright, birdhouses. Birdhouse is done. Rose bush is next. Oh yeah, I think I had them right there. Yeah, it's really not laggy for me, which is a good thing. I'm not going to complain about that, but if it was truly laggy, I would have already needed to relog, which I'm going to do it anyways once I'm done, and hopefully, you know, I don't get rolled back completely. So what do these need? Wood? Then let's do... I wonder if I'm good here. Okay, that's... No, I still need like 2 more of them. Alright. I heard about that. You mentioned it on Discord, Alina. But yeah, you weren't the only one. I heard several people mention that they got completely screwed over by the rollbacks. No, but not everyone is experiencing this either. The whole thing with the rollbacks or the disconnects, I don't know, that it definitely seems to happen to some people more often than other people. Like to me, it barely happens. I only had the disconnect icon appear once on one of the streams. You guys told me that it disconnected. That's the only time I remember. No, that's not true though, because like after I ended streaming, there was like 2 times where the disconnect icon popped up eventually. And I refreshed almost right away. I think, at least, that's when I noticed it. Because I wasn't paying attention the whole time. But once I noticed it, yeah, I refreshed. Alina says rollback killed me. I remember it happened in May Mayhem as well. Oh, okay. You meant this year's May Mayhem or another year? Was there even a May Mayhem this year? It was just a bunch of sales. Must have been another one. Alina says for me, it was the first time after May Mayhem some years ago. Oh, okay, some years ago. Alright, that makes sense. The actual May Mayhems. 22 minutes in. I'm gonna assume that I'm good on lumber. So I will get rid of those. So I can start collecting wood to build all this out. Get another brewery here. And actually a couple of these are still breweries, so let's get rid of that one. Build that, get rid of this. Let's get rid of this one. Okay, that's, I will eventually have to remove that. Just don't want to remove it now because I need everything else to build out. Add a twin here. Like 3 years ago? Oh, okay. Is there... Oh no, that's an aquifer. It's... So as for the bakeries, I will just be using my tiny cupcake looking bakeries. Super efficient for this competition. They're all going to be making yeast. They have the passive water drum. So they just need to pick up 2 flour, of which they'll pick up from here. I'll go ahead and get rid of that. I know I'm wasting like 6 lumber, but might as well get these placed down as well. I think I can still make it to the fastest build ever finished. At least for me. Why I do that to myself, I don't know. This is why am I racing against myself? But it's part of the fun. Okay, I'm gonna have 2 tree farms right here next to the windmills. They're being affected by the light circus. So that's why they're still on a green craft timer. Keep going with the apple trees. Okay, seeing as I used all the lumber, I'm not sure if I need to make more lumber, but I'll turn that on. I need the aquifer there. So, these done? Okay, these are all done. Yeah, it is part of the fun. Exactly. I could take the Tesla coil out now because that's the maybe the last brewery that I need goes here. Gonna go ahead and rotate all of these. This one, I believe, I'm actually not completely sure what way that one was rotated. Don't think it should matter too much. I'll go ahead and start turning them on so they can at least pick up the apples. That needs lumber, makes sense. I don't have any space here. So we'll clear that out. I don't need any more energy here. Louis the Point, hello! Hey Rod, did you get the sand NFT? The new one? No, I have the corrupted silica stand from what feels like 2 years ago. So this gives me the passive silica, so I never need the passive sandy. No point in me having it. Actually, I need more energy for that dude. So let's do this right here. Just because I need the 10 lumber. I thought I was already good on lumber, but apparently not. I need 8 more lumber. That's fine. I have time. Start getting rid of some of this stuff. I don't need these. I know why it gets full of wood so fast. It's because I'm not making flour yet. I'll get there. It's flour. I got 2 of these making sugar. That's why I got the Christmas sugar cane stands right there. All the other ones are making flour. I'm using an epic wheat stand to provide all of the passive wheat for the windmills. And they should all deposit it on this storehouse. All of these are already turned on making yeast. All of the breweries that are already built are turned on and making apple cider. They're just waiting on the yeast. All right, that's getting built, which means I don't need that anymore. That can be the other silo. Got 2 silos here for efficiency. I believe I have the silos rotated facing the breweries. Oops. One too much. And that is a 3rd twin. Where'd it go? Okay, that worked out because I needed to turn those on anyways. There's a 3rd twin. And this can face south. Apple cider. That's correct. I don't think I need to build anything else. Holy crap, I'm almost done. Definitely gonna be a new record if assuming I did everything correctly. And get rid of some of this stuff. I don't need to make I don't need to make any more lumber. Tree farms, I really only need 4, I think, but I used 5 because, I mean, these spots don't have 6 passive water anyways. Oh, look, I got disconnected. Damn, right when I finished, too. Okay, after this, I guess it's not going to save anything. So my hope is that it doesn't make me roll, you know, start all the way back from the very first minute. I was going really fast there, too. Maybe that's why. But what I'm going to do in this case, because I got the disconnect symbol, I already have Update Town offline, that's true. But what I'm going to do, and I turned almost everything on. Man, I could have been finished at 30 minutes. I still need to turn on some effect cards. So what I'm going to do is return the main menu. All right. And I'm going to wait like 2 minutes. I'm doing this to make sure it at least tries to trigger offline mode. That might not matter. But if I go back right away, it's not going to trigger offline mode at all. And maybe that'll be an issue. I don't know exactly. I don't know when it determined that it was offline, you know, when it got disconnected. I did place everything down. You could say I finished this in half an hour. I don't really think so, because there still needs to be... I'm pretty sure there's still blueprints that I need to turn on. I'm actually not completely sure. I might have already been done. So not refresh, right? I mean, I'm pretty much refreshing. I'm returning to the main menu. And it probably will take 2 minutes to even load up the main menu, so we'll see. I'm trying to think of what else did I need to turn on other than the auto sell. I guess I haven't set up the auto sell stuff, so my storages will get full. The brewery might have had an effect card. I don't remember if it did. Already turned on the windmill and the bakery effect cards. The tree farms, the Great Woodlands, I have not turned that on. I probably don't even need to turn that on though, really, because I was overproducing wood anyways. Alina says I refreshed and got rolled back. It really just depends on when it's determined that I got disconnected. I don't know, it could possibly roll me back all the way to the beginning since I haven't like relogged yet up to this point. I told people just to be safe, probably relog every hour. Of course, it's only been half an hour for me. It only takes like half an hour to finish this, so... I'm just hoping it didn't completely... It didn't make me lose like 20 minutes of progress or something. It's taking forever to go back to the main menu. I might just have to disconnect it anyways. Refresh the window anyways, I mean. It's pretty much stuck. It shouldn't take more than 2 minutes to do this. Alright, I'm gonna refresh the window. Hope that's not a bad idea, but it feels like it's been like 2 minutes like that. So we'll see if offline mode even triggers. It looks like it did trigger offline mode because it says it's bringing your town up to date, so we'll see. And it was pretty fast too, so the disconnect must have been very recent. Oh, thank goodness that it's not completely deleted. There's that. Did look like I continue to sell some glass bottles. Alright, so let's put apple cider here. I don't need to sell apples. I really should be using them all. Flour... I don't need to auto sell flour either. It all gets turned into... Why did I take off glass bottles? Oh, because I don't need to auto sell glass bottles, but I can because it overproduces them. So I'll set it to 40. Oh, I'm still making lumber? Oh, I guess it disconnected before I turned that off. All right. Sugar, I will put on auto sell. Yeah, I do overproduce sugar with this setup. Yeast... I think so. I mean, I'll put it on auto sell, and I guess there's not too much for me to auto sell here. That might have been it. Alright, so it didn't turn off the sawmill. That's okay. You know, maybe I can fill up the fundamental storage. Not like I really need to do that though. Hold on. Well, did it? Is that really it? Oh, it didn't take. I see. It rolled me back like 1 minute. That's not bad. And that's just because it disconnected a minute before it told me. Well, that's too bad. Whoops, that's the wrong thing. Okay, that is not that bad really, but technically I didn't finish this in 30 minutes because of the rollback. Otherwise, it would have been like a nice new record. But I think it might still be a record anyways. Let me go to the effect cards. Is there anything I need? Great Woodlands, bulky storehouse. Oh, hasty tractor. Hasty tractor does make a difference. Okay, that should have been it. Patch of Hank goes there. This is an apple tree. I guess we're good. Take off the sawmill and the fundamental storage. All right, 37-minute finish. It is still a new record. Because I think the last competition was 39 minutes and I thought that was a record. So 37 minutes to my, and that's even, I really shouldn't be counting the 2 or 3 minutes it took for me to get back into the game, but yeah, whatever. 37 minutes. Just refresh that again. Make sure everything's on. 12 seconds, that's on. All of these are on. Super easy for me because half of it is literally apple trees, like I said. It does require a good amount of water NFTs. I usually do not use this many water NFTs. I almost never use ponds, but here I have 2 ponds. One of them just to have the diamond water pump here. So I do have this casting shade. So this apple tree is the only one with 1 shade on it. I probably could have put the storehouse here and the silo here, but like I didn't want to mess with this. And my sugar station has to deliver all the way over here. Yeah, I'd rather just not touch that. The apple tree doesn't even look right. I'm wondering. No, it's gonna take a while for that to actually look correct. All right. I think these are rotated. Yeah. I really don't think it matters, but might as well rotate them. Okay. Louis de Point says, what are the stores with the cupcakes on top? Those are tiny bakeries. So they work just like the bakery, but they actually craft faster. And best of all, they only take up a quarter space. So if you happen to have 4 of these, you can fit 4 of them in 1 tile. This has the efficiency of 5 bakeries. Think of it. 5 bakeries in 1 tile. Probably more than that because you also got to consider that you can have it right next to the storehouse. So this probably has the efficiency of maybe 6 or 7 bakeries in 1 tile if you have it right next to a storehouse. Very powerful. And of course I have 8 tiny bakeries, so I can do this twice. So instead of having 12 or 14 bakeries, I can just have all the tiny bakeries in 2 spots. So huge space saver on this. So this will do 500 apple cider per hour. I've tested it twice. Pretty much 500 exactly. The apple rate will eventually be 2,500 per hour, which I think is the bottleneck. Having the extra apples should help a bit because over time it will use them all. So yeah, I might have like 510 apple cider per hour for a while, up until the point where I burn all the apples. That's why I don't want to sell the excess apples either. So that's good. I'll catch up a little bit there with the extra apples. Yeah, because I am overproducing yeast and sugar for sure. Oh, and definitely glass bottles. That's at 600. Glass bottles not an issue at all. Looks like mushroom too. Kinda, yeah. I mean, it looks more like cupcakes to me, but yeah. Okay, yeah, based on my yeast and sugar rate and glass bottles too, I guess. This will make 530 per hour up until the point where I run out of apples, the excess apples. Then it'll do the 500 per hour. So that's good. Yeah, I have like an extra 100 apple cider from the first 30 minutes that I spent building this and just collecting apples. Now, right now, that puts me on 5th. What the heck? How did Pyramid get that many points already? That's crazy. He must have already been producing them the first 5 minutes. I didn't even check to see if that was true. But that's what I would imagine. I know he probably has the most golden apple trees out of everyone. 'Cause I know XG has several golden apple trees too. So that makes sense. The gaps in terms of production rates, I don't think they're that huge this competition. I don't know. So like no NFT will do 70 to 80 per hour. The build that I shared, it can easily do 82 per hour. And I'm thinking for top 25, you probably want 400 per hour. Top 50 would want 300 per hour. Top 100, at the very least 200 per hour. Maybe a tiny bit higher than that. I would imagine top 225, maybe somewhere between 150 to 170 per hour. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, something like that. The rate that I'll be making and judging by how fast I finish, I probably will get top 10 still with this. So I am consistently getting more top 10s. Like I finally reached that point. Because what's it been now? Like 4 competitions in a row top 10? That's what it feels like. So yeah, I would think 500 per hour is able to do that. So even if it's like barely 10th or 9th or something, it should be good. Yeah, I mean, I even put glass bottles on auto sell on 40 just to maybe get a few extra stars. Though I don't think that'll make a difference in the ranking. The greenhouse, I don't think it does anything for me. I tested with and without this. I did not see a difference in the apple rate. I mean, the greenhouse is here because it makes my tractors 10% faster movement speed wise, but it doesn't seem to matter for the apple rate. I could be wrong, but I just didn't notice a difference. I mean, I'll keep it on there anyways, because why not? I'll put my trophies next to them. I have 2 of them now, by the way. I forgot to mention this. Like 2 weeks ago, we had somebody that got one of the dub trophies for the when we had that first guild competition back in what 2024. Yeah, April 4th to April 10th, 2023. My bad. Currently, this was 2023. Wow, over 2 years ago. So yeah, unfortunately, he's quitting the game, so I just ended up getting the team trophy from him. The dub trophy. I don't want the dub trophy to just be lost on if he's not planning to play anymore or anytime soon, so I just got the trophy from him. And yeah, 2 dub trophies now. Just cuts. Sandula, hello. Late to the party, sup fan? What's up, Sandula? I mean, hopefully you're not late to the actual competition. They're like connected. That's interesting. Yes, I got 2 of them right there. It'll be right next to the greenhouse. I can't remember everybody that has it. You know, there was 20 trophies given out to each of the guilds. So there's 20 dub trophies, 20 NLO trophies, and 20 was it mag trophy? I don't remember what the first place guild was called because it was a combination of 2 guilds. It was a combination of MAF and CAG, so I don't remember what they were called. Yeah, it was just kind of a combo guild thing. It's kind of hard to remember the name because it's like never been used again. You should put it in a giveaway for the supporters. It's priceless, man. This is a priceless NFT. I don't know. I mean, it would be cool, but I think about it, but I don't know. I'll let somebody hold on to it for like $10 a day. That's just kidding. That'd be a terrible use of your money. What I'm really saying is I would like one. Yeah, that I'm sure you would. That makes sense. Yeah, I can't remember. I have a list somewhere. I wonder. I can't remember who everybody was that got one. Other than O-Town. O-Town has one for sure. I wonder. Because I don't think probably some of them don't even play anymore. It probably would be easy for me to check, actually. There's a way for me to check. Apple tree timer? That's actually a good question. I think somebody asked me that and I forgot to check. What is my Apple tree timer? Homeboy has it too. Yeah, there we go. Homeboy Gaming, I got the dub trophy too. There's a way for me to check. I'm gonna check right now. I'm not gonna say everyone's names, obviously, but long time ago, you know, back in 2023 when I was setting up the list of who's going to be in the main team for the guild competition, I did give all those players a role called Townstar Guild Top Team. So that's a special role that only they've gotten. So only 20 people should have it, except it's showing me 19 people have it, so somebody probably left the Discord some time ago. What is my timer exactly? Let me look at this one. I think it's like 2.5 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, my Apple tree timer is 3 minutes. Still very fast. Because what's the 6 minutes. So we got cut in half. Apparently all my craft timers are half. Spartans has one too? Really awesome. I honestly don't remember everybody who had it. No, yeah, you're right. Spartans does have one. He was part of the team. I know for sure Old Town had it. Yeah, Homeboy. All right. Yeah, I see the other people. Like I said, I'm not gonna say everyone's name. Obviously, I was one of the ones that had it. I know the other dude I bought it from had it, so now I have his. That's why I have two of them. All right. No, yeah, a couple of these people, yeah, they definitely still play. There are. But there are also people who I don't think play anymore because I don't see them chat. Or maybe they still do and they just never chat anymore. I don't know. Or, you know, maybe they sold it. Who knows? I don't know if they ever sold it to somebody. But yeah, I at least do have the list of people who were part of that first guild competition, except for one of them who may have already left the Discord some time ago. Because, you know, like 2 years ago, Dub was a pretty new guild. I mean, I'm shocked, but both pleased that we got third place still for that guild competition. It was a very close fight with, at the time, TSM, as they were called, Townstar Masters. I believe they changed the guild name already. But they were very close to getting third. I actually did think they were going to get third, really, because they were around longer than the Dub guild was. But we just barely beat them. And yeah, managed to get third. I don't know if there's a way to check that leaderboard. At one point it was on a spreadsheet that Farmer Michelle made, but I don't know if that's around still. Maybe it's still on that maybe it is still on that Townstar leaderboard spreadsheet. I'm gonna check. So it might be on there, but I can't actually see it because the sheet is hidden. Oh well. Sad my first disconnect, said O-Town. You had it after me. I gotta change the dates. But yeah, I updated the playbook a few days ago, or during the weekend. And added those NFTs that I didn't add like the past month. Now, I don't think we know exactly how the sand mine works because nobody's bought that one. I'm just gonna double check, but yeah, I don't think anyone's bought that. Yeah, nobody's gotten the sand mine or the the July 4th Stars and Stripes. Yeah, nobody's gotten that. I know people were joking about that earlier. You're probably better off getting a lottery ticket at your local convenience store than buying the Stars and Stripes July 4th edition box. Damn. Yeah, it's really bad. Oh yeah, they're not worth it. That's right. The sand mine is a really weird thing to bring out again too, because I mean we had the rare sand mine. This one's legendary, but no, we also had the sand castle. I feel like we have all the sand or sandy NFTs now. Oh, sorry, I realized that they are calling it sandy. Was it always called that? Let me check the sand mine rare. Oh, the rare sand mine doesn't provide any passive sandy as they call it. Let me check the sand castle. Okay, yeah, sandy. Salt field. Salty salt field. We got a lot of sandy now, yeah. Salty. Okay. Who's the one that came up with the term sandy? Because we all know what sandy is, right? Those of us who play. Sandy is the thing that positively impacts your sand mines. You know, that's the way I refer it to. Technically, within the game, it's called arid. So passive arid is the thing that makes your sand mines a green crowd timer. Sandy is just the term I came up with, or maybe it was something that's in the game, or maybe somebody else came up with it, but I always called it passive sandy. But yeah, from my understanding, within the game, it was called passive arid. It's an interchangeable term, I guess. But yeah, I just realized on the Sandmine NFC, they're also calling it passive sandy. Who knows? Maybe it was always called that. It's just not the way I remember it. Making a legendary was a waste of data. Probably the same could be said for a lot of the NFTs they made. I think the castle was good enough, and rare mind was good. Yeah. Louis says it's because the prices are too damn high, they are worthless. Gala thinks we're still in 2021. Yes, you're right. That's a problem with them trying to sell the NFTs now. Is they already have a price structure from the past 4 years, and they can't stray too far off from it. Otherwise, it will really kill the value of a lot of other NFTs. Because, you know, we always say when an NFT comes out, it devalues a lot of other ones. But what if they started coming out with all the NFTs that were like $50 for a legendary, or $100, you know, $30 for an epic, $10 for a rare? If they started doing that now, it would absolutely kill the value of every NFT. Everything would be much, much lower. More devalued than you think. So that's the problem. That's the reason they can't sell the NFTs way too cheap, because it would devalue stuff even harder. They can't do that. It would be bad for the economy of the game. So they have to sell these NFTs at the prices they've been selling them for. So like legendaries for between $300 to $400 or so. They can't really stray off that, you know, that value that they're trying to sell it for. Yeah, it's obviously not worth it. It's not worth, the Sandmine's not worth $360. Hell no. You're better off trying to buy a silica stand for maybe $500 or whatever they may be costing now. But yeah, and I mean their marketing team, whoever's in charge, you know, they got to tell them, hey, you got to release an NFT every week. You know, that's just the standard. Doesn't matter if they sell them or not, I guess. They just have to come out with them. And yeah, it takes a lot of time and resources to come up with the utility and the artwork of the thing they're gonna sell. You know, they gotta mint it, they gotta do all the QA testing stuff. It's a lot of work for them to not sell a single one. It's crazy. And you could say, yeah, maybe 2 or 3 years from now somebody will buy a few of them. Who knows? It's possible, sure. We don't really think about it in like the long term, but short term it doesn't make sense. You know, why release the sand mine now? Well, like I said, I guess it's because marketing team tells them. Sandula says, I was shocked when the guy in the Discord had a mine NFT. What guy in the Discord? Oh, Sandula, what happened with the guy that didn't know how to use a road for the mine? Unless that's the dude you're talking about. I thought that was something else though. Oh, they figured it out. I just scrolled up to check. Okay, they figured it out. No, there was somebody having issues with placing the mine, but they didn't realize that they needed a paved road. You can't do it with just a regular dirt road. The one who wouldn't listen to put the paved road down. Yes, it had to be a paved road, not a regular dirt road. Yeah. Oh, they had a sand mine? Is that what you're saying? I didn't know that. Sand mine NFT? I don't know. Can't really tell. I would imagine that was maybe somebody who has never built the mines before. Maybe that's why. Also, I assume there are players out there that... I definitely know this is the case. So... I know people copy my build from the build showcases. That's not a surprise, you know. It's there. If it helps you, go ahead and do it. It's fine. But there's some people that copy my build, but they don't pave the roads. So they're all dirt roads, and they don't understand why they don't have the same production rates as the one that I shared. And yet they don't pave the roads, you know. It's all dirt roads. That's why. I'm not sure. I hope they don't continue to do that and they learn their lesson after the first time. But yeah, obviously you have to pave almost all the roads. There are a few roads that really don't have to be paved in my build showcases. I just pave them all. Like for the build showcase for the apple cider one that I posted this morning, you don't have to pave the roads for the logger neighborhood that I had, because those roads almost never get used. So those could be dirt roads, but all the other roads definitely should be paved roads. There's a lot of movement. I don't know. There's some people who don't understand the reason to pave roads, I guess. They never learned that it impacts the movement speed. Lycan, Warlord, what's up, Lycan? Always pave roads. There you go. Yes. Yeah, there's a few roads that don't need to be paved, but more than likely you're just better off paving all the roads. Just easier. It's an easier time to just tell people to do that. But what's up, Lycan, by the way? You know, I'm just here chilling, checking the production rate. I finished this like half an hour ago. It's doing what it should be doing. I think. I mean, my apples keep going up. I really should be using all those apples up. It could just be that I have exactly the right amount of breweries to make 500 apple ciders. That could be why. Actually, most of the apples are here. Whatever, it'll work itself out. Not gonna worry about it too much. Sandula says, oh, never mind. I thought they said they did from Harvard. Oh, okay. What's up, bud? Just got up. Build looks good. Trying to get steel going so I can get Seth Jr. and I'll try and stream later. Awesome. I assume mathematically it's not worth using the compost rate. That's a good thing to bring up, Lycan. I didn't really talk about that. So the compost, it really depends. And I'm assuming he's referring to the compost facility, this one, which people don't really tend to use. But in this case, it might make sense to use it in some situations. So earlier I said I don't need all 5 tree farms. That's true. I probably only need 4. So if I wanted to, I could get rid of this. I could put the compost facility here and it'll make these 3 apple trees grow 10% faster. Because obviously I can't put an apple tree here because it doesn't have 6 water. So in that situation, the compost facility would help a little. But say if you put the compost facility here, it wouldn't help. You'd just be better off having the apple tree here because it already has enough passive water and there's no shade being casted here. I do have 1 shade being casted here, but if I put the compost facility here, it's only a 10% reduction to these 4. It's not any better than just having an apple tree here with 1 shade. There are situations for those people that have the golden apple tree NFTs, which are maybe like 10 people out there. I don't know. But there are situations where having the compost facility would probably be a better idea because the reduction is more important there. So there's only a few situations here where the compost facility would be better. In my case, it doesn't really make a difference, but there's a few situations where it would be better. The spot it takes up on the crafts that are super quick doesn't seem worth it. Overall, it's not going to be worth it, but there are a few situations I've noticed where it will help. It's hard to say exactly where. It's more for the people who have the golden apple trees. They would be able to tell you it's definitely worth it. But that's with that NFT. That makes sense. It's different. Sandula says apple rate was tricking the hell out of me last night. Went to 1900, then to 1500. What the heck? Something definitely must have happened for that. See when he says, well, that's a ton of apple trees? Yeah. Half the build is apple trees, literally half. It kind of looks, I mean, it's a little bit more than half, but it's 131 apple trees here. And only 1 of them has 1 shade. Few people, yeah, I don't know how many people have the golden apple trees. I would assume, yeah, I could take a look at the leaderboard and the 4 people above me definitely have golden apple trees. Yeah, I don't know about Zebor, but I'm just gonna assume he does have a golden apple tree. I might be wrong. Zebor will let me know. But I know Paramin actually in O-Town have golden apple trees, and maybe somebody here. Okay, yeah, I know somebody here that has it. But somebody there has it. I don't think it was ever worth it to have the golden apple tree. Out of all the freaking NFCs out there, this golden apple tree doesn't get used enough. Planet Bob says if you have an apple tree in the shade, you might as well put compost there. If it only has 1 shade, I still don't think it's worth it. If this had 2 shade, then it would be worth it, sure. It would make a tiny difference, maybe 1 or 2 more apples. But for 1 shade, affecting 4, I don't think it's worth it. Same thing. O-Town only for me, yeah. That's still something. I mean, each one of those saves, what, 3 spots from my understanding? So 4 of them, that saves you 12 spots. That's a lot of spots saved for apples. Dub not buying an FT, I'm shocked. You gotta know which ones to buy if you're going to buy any, that is. Like, and I'm not saying you should buy the NFTs or the FTs as you say. But you gotta know which ones to get if you were to get them. And I know some people bought the golden apple trees because they were 75% off. I remember when that sale happened. It still wasn't enough to convince me. I didn't care for them. Apparently they sold out. It convinced somebody. 75% off. Apple trees. Golden apple trees. Alina says, what I have noticed is that if you have no NFTs, sugar is best for the rush. Okay, that's good to know. I thought it was either going to be apples or sugar, but apples take 6 minutes to grow. That's a long time, right? So yeah, you are right. Sugar was probably the best way to go for the no NFT cash rush. There's always whales out there having their own fun liking. Even if that means spending money. I played a couple of mobile games. This isn't a mobile game, but it's similar. It's pay to win. We all know that. But you know, there's always whales that have fun. They want to spend. They want to do good. Now, at least in this case, in Townstar, they're getting some money when the competition wins. So it's different still. You can whale and get at least some of it back. Whether it's a profit or not, it's gonna depend on the market, both the whole crypto market in general, and both the market here in Townstar. You know. Sandula, I did sugar and glass bottle. Yeah, so I was pretty much good with just glass bottles. So I was thinking of doing sugar and apples. I didn't need to sell any apples. No more disconnects? No. Yeah, we're over the hour mark. If some of you haven't refreshed your game, I would just do it just in case. But speaking of the disconnects, I'm assuming you're still doing the competition sometimes. Have you had an issue with your game disconnecting? You get the disconnect icon up here, and you refresh your game and it rolls back a couple hours. Has that happened to you recently? I'm sure it's happened to you in the past, but has it happened to you recently, like in the past month? Because it's something I hear people have been reporting more often the past month. You know, Alina would be able to tell you. She had that issue, right, recently. There's a few people in our dub guild that had that issue. I mean, some got screwed over real hard. They were done like 5 hours into their build, and then they got rolled back all the way to the beginning. That's terrible. Sorry to hear that. But absolutely should not be happening. Lycan says, I think so. In the last competition, I noticed that. Usually leave my game up. Yeah, on Tuesdays, I usually leave the game up too. There was 2 instances where I saw the disconnect icon. I just refreshed the game and then I just went back to offline mode. I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna risk that. Beta. The game is in beta. You're right, Lycan. It's a beta game. It's early access. It will be released at the same time Mirandis releases. Oh yeah, Mirandis, I think it has a new update next week. And I suppose, I think I will actually stream it. Like, it's been like 3 months since I've streamed it. But I'll give it a try. I don't think I'm actually going to be competitive in the Mirandis events. But I will check it out again. What's up, email account stuff? The American Party, isn't that what Elon Musk is coming out with? No, I'm not gonna be president. Oh, you're saying Mirandis is a joke. Okay. I checked it out. It's been a while since I checked it out. I thought it was pretty fun, the 2 hours that I played it. Obviously, it didn't make me come back and play it again. But That's not because I don't think the game is garbage or anything. I still think Mirandis is like something that could be fun and could make sense, but it's gonna take a long ass time before it gets to that point. Longer than it should be taking, honestly. That doesn't mean it'll be a complete failure in my opinion, you know, like you have your own opinion and that's completely fine, right? But we'll see how it goes. They will make the next updates. They will make it so that you don't need an exemplar to play temporarily. I've listened to the AMAs. They said most of the people who are trying to play don't even have an exemplar. That's why they can't play. And there's really not much of an incentive to play because there's no play to earn. That's just the truth. If there's no play to earn, people don't really want to play, even if it's early access. The people that are playing right now, mostly it's just for testing. That's the only reason it's up. But depending on how big the Gala reward is and how well Mirandis is working so far, probably we'll see a couple players during the next updates and event that they're hosting. You know, they said they're going to do a Gala reward. They just haven't said how much Gala they're going to give out. Lycan says nobody's playing anything Gala dub. When you say nobody, you are, I guess you're meaning to say not very many people, as in, you know, there's a bunch of people that play Fortnite, Call of Duty, you know, Expedition 33, millions of people. And when you compare that to Townstar, Mirandis, or Vexy Villages, that's nobody's playing that, right? That's the comparison you're making. Because Townstar, maybe it's like 500 people. The leaderboard will show 1,500 when the competition ends. It could be 500. I don't think that's true, though. I think it is closer to maybe 1,000. And obviously, some people are multi-accounting. We know that's true. Vexy Villages, I think it's only like 400 people who are actually, or maybe 500 who are actually playing Vexy Villages. And they don't all do the events. I already know that. Champions Arena, it's between 500 to 1,000 people. Some of those could also be multi-accounts. Mirandis, it's hard for me to say because I haven't gotten on Mirandis, but I'm gonna assume it's only like 30 people playing Mirandis. That's just my conservative number. Eternal Paradox, it is maybe about 300 people, and maybe some of those are definitely multi-accounters. I know that because they'll just right up say it. So it's really not a lot of people, you're right. But it's definitely not nobody. I'm not gonna agree with you and say it's nobody. Dub's gonna get impeached pretty quickly in my country. What? Wait, aren't you in Louisiana? We're like neighbors. Oh, without play to earn? No, because it's made, the way it's made, it has to be play and earn, I think. Yeah, if you really think about it, is the game fun without play to earn? I would say yes, but a lot of people would disagree with me. Way do you buy NFTs if the game was not play and earn? No, I don't think so. And if people say yes, it might only be like 0.1% or 1 in 1,000 people would say yes. But I think 99.9% of the people would say no. They wouldn't buy NFTs if the game was not play and earn. That's just obvious. So this game works because it is play and earn, because it's a competitive game. Sure, you could argue and say you play it for fun. And there are people out there that probably do, but it's tiny bit. As Lycan would say, it's nobody would do that, even if it's 1 in 1,000 people. And Lycan says, I don't mean there are 0 people. Yes, nobody as in not a drop in the bucket of the gaming market. Yeah. Oh, I know what Gala said about revolutionizing the gaming arena and all that. You know, it's all hype. This game isn't what is keeping Gala alive, in my opinion. Maybe it was back then, but right now it's clearly not. I mean, it's not hard to know that. Email account stuff says Lycan. you're going to have to supersede Teddy Roosevelt's stash. What the heck? Before thinking of conducting a coup against President Dub. See money, I think Mirandus can be good without play and earn, just needs a bit more polishing. Can a game be good without play and earn? Even... I played a lot of RuneScape in my childhood, right? RuneScape was fun. I played it for years. I stopped playing it once they released the EOC, the Evolution of Combat, also known as the End of Combat update for some people who stopped playing. RuneScape was fun. Many people didn't play it to earn money. Some people did, obviously. So you could argue that RuneScape had some play and earn. It was against the rules, but obviously people don't care. So Mirandus, you know, it wants to be an MMO or MMORPG. But do you play it without play and earn? Sure, as long as there's enough to do, and there's really not enough to do right now, but there could be in the future. But I think the thing that will get people hyped for Mirandus is the play and earn. But I know that you have your gamers that don't care about the whole Web3 stuff. Obviously, it's not going to be a game for everyone. So can it work without the, as C-Money says, without play and earn? It could, sure, but people are going to play it for the play and earn, in my opinion. That's the whole point of Mirandus. If you wanted to play something without play and earn, go play RuneScape, maybe World of Warcraft. I never played that one, but sure, you could go play those. There's a lot of other MMORPGs nowadays. We're the dummies playing for fun. The idea of Mirandus was great. What Gala has delivered and what they can possibly deliver aren't going to be enough. And like I also said, people play RuneScape because it's a great game, and there's also a thriving economy. A win-win, and no one cares about ownership, i.e. the sad truth behind the Web3 lie. Once again, I don't think I can agree with what you said about nobody cares about ownership. I do remember, I don't know if you know the history with RuneScape back in the day, where they tried to sell houses. This was way back in RuneScape Classic. They tried to sell people houses that were going to be like one-of-one properties. Not NFTs or anything, just in-game houses. So you wouldn't be able to sell them or trade them. You'd just be spending money just for the hell of it. Sure, it was in-game money, right? So you could just grind it all out. You wouldn't have to pay any real-life money. But you could have been working a job making real-life money anyways. But yeah, at one point they were going to sell houses in RuneScape. People were so excited for that. It never happened because they weren't able to pull it off. And there was probably only going to be like 200 houses for sale. So yeah, that got scrapped, but I know people were excited at the time to be able to buy those houses. Obviously I wasn't playing at the time, but like I've seen the videos on the whole history of that stuff. So at one point in RuneScape there was going to be ownership, but the devs weren't able to pull it off. I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna be brutally honest about how it is, you know me. Oh yeah, and I appreciate that you're being brutally honest, you know. Remind me to watch your video on it, you know, about Mirandus, I'm assuming you're talking about. I've seen the main person making videos about Mirandus right now is Alium. I believe I'm saying his name. I think I'm saying his name correctly. Alium from Masters of Materium Guild. He does a very good job talking about the what was talked about in the AMAs and the updates in the game. He does a very good job going over it. He obviously loves playing Mirandus. He was one of the main people excited for it, probably still is excited for it. So, I mean, I've been watching his videos on Mirandus. I appreciate the information he gives out, but obviously he's still hyped for Mirandus. I think he has said before it has potential. But you know, that's somebody that likes the idea of the game, that so far is enjoying the game, but I'm sure he knows, just like me, it has long ass time to go before it's completely finished. But you know, there's people like that. There's people that see the potential of the game, something they could play that could be fun for them. There's people that think the game is stupid, that it's not going to be fun for anyone because it's not fun for them. That's just how it is. That's how it could be for anything. I can also say, think about it this way, Dub. Who cares if you own something when the game dies? I'm not over familiar with RuneScape, but I've been shown the grand market is still booming. The grand exchange in the market. Yeah, I haven't played in a long time, but I'm sure it's still doing good. You know, people treat it like the stock market and stuff. They have their own fun. They make money. I mean, RuneScape, it's you can grind everything out. There's just an infinite amount of money. It's just all inflation. It's just how it works. It's not like working in real life. It's not the same thing. But yeah, as long as you have fun. And yeah, games can die, you know. It's happened plenty of times. We all hope that the next MMORPG is going to be the next RuneScape or the next World of Warcraft or whatever. But that's not always the case. Noldori, hello. I've played several NFT games that touted the ownership aspect of the NFTs. Those game servers are offline and now those NFTs are worthless code. Yes, that can happen. Definitely can. Like it says, the Miranda's Tavern at Gala vs Las Vegas was the only good thing Miranda's ever did. I never went to the Gala versus, so I never got to experience that. I mean, I would assume everybody was hyped up there. They were ready to buy whatever Gala sold, and now they're very disappointed. I could see that's the case. They probably had a good time at Galaverse, but you know, they look back now and wow, Gala wasn't able to accomplish what they promised they would try to do. You know, by now it's 2025. Obviously, we haven't had the best market since 2021, and that's probably what Gala was hoping for. You know, they want to make a bunch of money and be rich. Email account stuff says the passage of time is what's damning condemnation against Gala. It's always about tomorrow's promise, never delivering today. I noticed that with Gala, it's like 98% of the stuff gets delayed, and the 2% of stuff that doesn't get delayed, it's the stuff you really don't care about. Like music tracks going on sale or an NFT going on sale. You know, that's like 98% of the time it gets delayed. There's sometimes that even NFT sales or music tracks that go on sale, those can get delayed too. You know, but that's the track record that I've noticed, and that's really unfortunate. The Dex has gotten delayed, which I think it's public information by now. The G-Stake launch has gotten delayed, that's confirmed. Not sure if that's public knowledge, but I'm gonna assume that it is. Like it says, I love the idea of the game too, but without McCarthy, there's no Miranda's. Yeah, a lot of people could say that too. They were really hoping Michael McCarthy could still, you know, continue work on the game. Or apparently that's what some people said. They only got into the idea of Miranda's and buying Miranda's NFTs because him and his team were the creative minds behind the game. Web3 equals ROI, boys. As long as that's the case, it will never succeed. Making points at gotcha. Simple and easiest example of people don't care about play to earn or ownership. Yeah. Free boots. Is it really free if people paid a lot of money to get into Galaverse? I don't think so. With that gacha chart up, Doug, sent it to you in DM. That's the truth about gaming. Gala doesn't have waifus. Oh, I mean, I can agree with you there. Gacha's obviously gonna make the money. Let's see, what is this? A Reddit post? Even if I okay, no, I can zoom in on this. I mean, this is kind of stuff I already knew. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pull this up though. Oh, Genshin Impact, #1 in sales? That's not a surprise to me, dude. I used to play Genshin Impact, alright? I know it's #1 in sales. And no, I wasn't a whale in that game. The whales were the people who were maxing out their characters. Is it this one? Yeah, look, gacha games make a lot of money. You know, this was just last month. Genshin Impact makes 65 mil. Went back to first place. They must have released an Archon or something. or like Lycan says, a waifu. This looks like a romance simulator game. I've never heard of it. The second place one. Is it showing my mouse? Oh, now it is. Pokemon TCG. Never. I know what that is, but I didn't know that was an app. Of course, people are very hype about Pokemon trading card game right now. As far as I've heard, never heard of that. Withering Waves, I heard of it, never played it. Zenless Zone Zero, heard of it, never played it. Alright, Naruto Mobile. Honkai Star Rails right here, another MiHoYo game, or HoYoverse. Yeah. That's not a waifu game. But yeah, that's not a surprise to me. Gacha games make the money, I know that. That's been the case for years. It fluctuates, but the numbers, if you get the monthly earnings up, it's in the billions, but millions a month. Gala could only dream. Gala could print money if they wanted to. They've done it before. But I mean, you're absolutely right. The gacha games make the most money right now. Yeah, that's true. Why doesn't everyone make gacha games, you know? It's interesting. Not everybody wants to play them, but obviously a lot of people do. I know they there's the new gacha game that's popular right now with horse racing, but it's not really horses. You probably know what I'm talking about. I've heard that one's doing well. That's just the way it is. Is that a big well, yeah, that could work, but I don't think it will make a difference. You've seen the horse racing game? Actually, I only know about it because Asmongold was playing it. Oh, that's strange. I guess I will be overproducing apples because I don't have enough breweries to make the apple cider. But I'm not gonna complain about that. And if I really wanted to, I could add another brewery. I'll keep it like this. It's fine. Teddy would probably pass me up. Maybe I'll get like 7th or 8th again. Yep. I'm good. But I mean, you know, like Lycan says, Web3 game isn't as popular as the gacha games that people like to spend money on. You know, you won't get money back. I've always thought about, why isn't there a gacha game that's Web3? I thought about this before, actually. I know one of the reasons. It's not going to make as much money because gacha games make their money on every single person playing them. They spend money on their own game. They never have to worry about them trading their characters away. You know, imagine if like and I know some people here watching, they have no idea what Genshin Impact is or they never played it. But imagine if like in Genshin Impact you could upgrade your character, and once you don't want to play anymore, you sell them, right? And See Money brings up a good point. Yes, Champions Arena is a gacha game, you're right. It just doesn't have what Lycan would refer to as waifus. No, Zephrina's not a waifu. The other one, Lavina or whatever, maybe she is, but it's not exactly the same. It is similar though, you're right, it is a gacha game. Champions Arena is a gacha game. It's doing okay. It doesn't have the marketing that it really needs. There's not enough people that play it. And you could go into the whole other conversation with Gala does a terrible job marketing their games. I don't understand why they don't market. But yeah, they don't have all the waifus, as Lycan says. Oh, there's such a huge delay on YouTube chat. It was like 25 to 30 seconds, and it's down to 8 seconds. That's weird. Okay, yeah. Let me know. I'll take a look at that later. Sometimes whenever... No, yeah, I don't know how much the delays are here. I know there's some setting in Streamlabs, but like I should already have it to where there's almost no delay. Miko? Okay, Miko is the most waifu character in Champions Arena. I'm gonna agree with you there. Kate Nova might be second. I remember when Champions Arena, when we did the playtest back in 2022 or whatever, 2023. I did both the playtests. Yes, Miko and Kate Nova were the characters that I was looking most forward to. Miko is a very good character. Kate Nova somewhat. I used to have a Kate Nova NFC. I actually sold it because I just didn't use her. But there's... You know, I guess there's just not enough waifus. Really, it's just the marketing. There's not enough marketing for Champions Arena. Like it says, like on my live stream, it was like almost 30 seconds. Twitch and Kick were 3 seconds. Oh, you just mean on YouTube. Okay. I actually do multi-stream to Twitch and YouTube, but almost nobody uses Twitch, and maybe that's my fault because I almost never share the Twitch stream. But yeah. Yeah, maybe it is better on Twitch. I have no idea. C-Money says, to be fair, there's only a few things they can market. Champions Arena is one, but most of the stuff not finished. Maybe that's a problem. No, I did hear Champions Arena might possibly have a big update coming out next week. They haven't announced that yet, but I heard somebody talk about that in the Discord chat. One of the Gala staff talked about it. So we'll see if that's the case. A big update as in, like, it's a new way to fight, like 10 champions versus 10 champions. Not exactly sure how that would work. Not sure if people would even want to do that. Ultra low, I had to double check. Oh, restream? 10 versus 10 champions battles. That is what I've heard, yes. Well, I've been having this run for an hour. No issues. That's gonna make, I'm guessing 508 per hour up until the point where I run out of apples, and then that'll make 500 per hour, I guess. Keep this running for maybe a couple more hours. Hope I don't get disconnected. And then I'll just go back offline. Like it says, alrighty, Dub. Alina, see money. Talk to you later. Good luck with the competition. Thank you. Appreciate you being here, liking to visit. And you said you're gonna stream later. Maybe I'll stop by, and I'll see you then. Thanks, Lycan. Okay. But I mean, I'm done with my build and I'm just having it run. So I'll probably just stop streaming in a few minutes. How's everybody else doing with your own build? You finished now? Seeing as it's not too difficult to do this one. It was my fastest build to finish so far. Oh, I know some people were gonna build nuclear powered because they want to save like 1 or 2 spots. I suppose that's fine. That makes sense with the cash boost. Just sounds like more work to me, but if you think it's worth it, then go for it. Do wonder if it's worth it. Jeff says not yet, still waiting for that 10 mil. This is really not that expensive of a build, I think, unless you are planning to make the nuclear powers. Yeah, like the no NFT apple cider build, I just did 5 power plants. There probably was a better way to do it, but I mean, I'm not trying to make like the most amazing rate possible. I'm surprised it did as good as it did. I mean, I managed to basically do more apple cider than Team Storm NFTs designed from a year ago, but that was probably because this was a better biome than the previous biome. That might have been why. Or it's just very similar. Email account stuff says Dub. Think you should start your own gaming empire? You've done your due diligence. The time is now. That's an interesting thing for you to say. So what do you mean by that, email account stuff? What do you mean? What do you think I should do? Do you think I even know how to do that? Should I start my own Gala games? Call it Dub Games? Dub Games? The thing is, I know very little about coding, but I don't know how to code games. I like the idea of Web3 games and the whole ownership thing, true. I don't know exactly how we'd go about all that stuff though. And did that happen to you again? The rollbacks? Did the rollbacks get you again? Dubstep gaming? Probably wouldn't be called that though. Sea Money, oh, you should have your own estate on Champions Arena. That's a good idea, man. Why didn't I think of that? We should call it the Dub Estate. It should be one of the best estates out there. It can't be the best, obviously, because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to Champions Arena, the DOT guild, whatever that means, they do a very good job, you know, in Champions Arena. They have people who are very hyped and excited about the game, right? I mean, they do well. And that's cool to see. Dub can't be the best at everything. I do think when it comes to Townstar, I don't know if you guys would agree, but it feels like Dub is maybe the best guild in Townstar now, which is cool. I can't prove that for sure, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it, but I think Dub is the best guild in Townstar. We won't really be able to prove that until we get to the guild competitions though. Yeah, the Champions Arena, I know the DOT guild, they probably are the best, let's be honest. An eternal paradox. No matter how hard I try, and this season I really haven't tried hard, to be honest. I've been kind of taking it very casual on eternal paradox. But it's hard to compete with the guild that has gathered all of the top spenders all in one place. Even convinced other members to join them. Because why in Eternal Paradox, why wouldn't you want to be in the top guild? They are getting the most rewards after all. Are you gonna go to the person who pays you more than the other person, essentially? Yeah, you are if you have the opportunity, so that makes sense. So like in Eternal Paradox, unfortunately, at least right now, Dub isn't able to hold the first place spot. We hold the second place spot. So we're always competing with the person holding the first place spot. Because they got other people that that just want to be there because sure, maybe they're family, maybe they have more friends there, but they do get more rewards. You know, and that's just part of the game. That's just how it is, especially in the Web3 game. Email account stuff says, peace out, Dub. You, Gaming Empire, don't sleep on this. Make it happen. Man, you gotta give me more ideas than that, but alright, email account stuff. Are they doing guild competitions again? You mean in Townstar? No. Maybe at some point they will, right? But like, think about all the stuff that needs to happen first. That's been getting delayed. Gems, which, who knows, maybe we'll get the update this Friday. Could happen. Could be delayed until next week, who knows. And the initial version of that update won't bring too much, I think. Maybe you'll be able to buy lumber or cash or something. But after that, you know, after the gems thing, they gotta actually introduce soil. You know, there's gotta be utility, be able to maybe spend that soil to get some gems. And after they do that, they still have to do the things that the other team promised to do, which is the upgrade materials and the ability to upgrade your NFTs. Who knows how long that's going to take? That could take months of work if they haven't already made progress on there, which we've assumed that they're making progress. Volcron, back in the day, you know, the previous team, he showed off a good amount of progress with the UI overhaul and the upgrade system. There definitely was some thought process there. I just don't know if they're starting from scratch or they're working off that. So after all of that gets done with the NFT upgrades, then after that point, they either do quality of life. You know, a lot of you are asking, why is the game so laggy? They gotta, you know, who knows what the hell they have to do, but they have to do something to try to fix that. Or instead of quality of life, they move on to the next thing, which is maybe doing the guild updates and bringing back the guild competitions. So it's a lot of work. But yes, I'm glad that they're not focusing on guild competitions right now. I think that would be a waste of time. The game's not ready for guild competitions. They tried really hard to get the update out, and it's just not ready for guild competitions. It could be in the future. It could work. But right now, it just doesn't. And a quick summary of like why doesn't it work? You know, for the people who don't know, there needs to be a way for us to actually delete the guilds. There needs to be a way to add more NFTs into the guild library. You're not able to actually search up and invite all the members. There's some members that it's just impossible to invite. I don't know why or how Gala implemented their invitation system, but it doesn't completely work. I think you should be able to invite players with their Gala chain ID or wallets. That way you absolutely can find everybody and invite them that way. Because right now when you invite people, you just have to search them by their names, but most of the names don't pop up. So if you're able to search them up by their Gala chain wallets, something that can never change, that's bound to your account, then it would be much easier to actually invite people. So yeah, a lot of stuff out there. It's a good thing to talk about though and to bring up. This game can be very good. And I would say People find the game fun, obviously. That's why we're still playing it, in addition to the play and earn, obviously. But it could be so much better. But yeah, if anybody has any other questions or whatever, feel free to ask. Otherwise, that'd probably be it. 35-ish minutes building. Over an hour of testing. Definitely works though, that's good. This one was very easy for me. I mean, I pretty much finished practicing on Friday, I guess. Yeah, Friday. I actually built this out. I built most of it out on Thursday. It's just that I had some NFTs that were on the guild library, some water NFTs. I knew I needed to use them, otherwise I would have had like 12 ponds. And I still ended up using almost every single spot here, so that's cool. Very efficient as I can make it. Which is part of the joy of coming up with a build that you use as much of the space as you possibly can. That's cool. Yeah, JC says it is, but the game managed by wrong company. Yeah, you can make that argument. That's true. The game is great, but what if somebody else was able to manage it? It makes you wonder. What if somebody could come out with some game that at least had good management, or at least had some idea of how to play the game? I don't know. See Money, thanks for all the info, Dub. Rachel says, thanks, Gub. No problem. Appreciate everyone being here, as usual. And yeah, that's gonna be it. I will once again stream on Friday. That's the plan, unless I oversleep. Last time I almost missed it, but I still did the stream. Stream the end of the competition on Friday. Next week, obviously I'll do the competition stream, but I think maybe next Wednesday, not tomorrow, but the next Wednesday, I think that's when I'll stream the Mirandis event. We'll see. Not sure how much I'll get into it, but that's the idea for right now anyways. But yeah, thanks for everybody for being here. Jeff says goodbye. Juxies, see you later. Good luck for the rest of the competition, everybody. Bye-bye.